Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're unpacking a really fascinating structural shift happening in education administration right now. We're going to be looking at some incredibly insightful material from Teacher Pool, specifically focusing on their end-to-end HR solutions for educational institutions. If you're involved in school leadership, administration, or honestly, if you just care deeply about how educational ecosystems actually thrive behind the scenes, you are absolutely in the right place. So let me ask you something right off the bat. Are schools just academic institutions? Traditionally, we kind of tend to think of them purely as places of learning, right? We picture the classrooms, the textbooks, the exams. But that perspective completely overlooks the massive, complex operational engine required to actually make all that learning happen every single day. Because the reality, schools are highly complex, deeply interconnected organizations. They require serious, strategic human resource management to function effectively. Think about it. Unlike a corporate environment where a bad hire might just mean a dip in a quarterly report, in a school, every single hire directly impacts student outcomes. It is a highly sensitive ecosystem. To figure out how we can optimize this, here is our roadmap for today. First up, the school HR dilemma. Second, strategic recruitment and setup. Third, compliance and payroll accuracy. Fourth, the educator lifecycle journey. And finally, why choose Teacher Pool? Let's start with Section 1, the school HR dilemma, looking at some unique HR challenges. We really need to talk about the high-stakes pressures school leaders face daily. A lot of institutions are constantly battling inconsistent hiring quality, mostly because they just lack structured recruitment processes. Then, you've got high teacher attrition. In competitive urban markets especially, it can literally feel like a revolving door. Add to that the absolute headache of compliance, managing Provident Funds, employee state insurance, all those tricky labor laws. And the crazy part? Many growing schools are operating with a total absence of formal HR systems. School leaders end up handling HR completely informally, which is just an incredibly overwhelming way to operate. Now, what's really interesting here is Teacher Pool's overarching philosophy. They say, take care of people so schools can focus on learning. It beautifully reframes human resources, doesn't it? HR isn't just a stack of paperwork. It is the ultimate enabler of education. When you take that operational burden off academic leaders, they can actually focus on what they do best. And that sets up a really stark contrast. It's like night and day. On one side, you have ad hoc people management, which, let's be honest, is basically putting out fires, dealing with chaotic hiring rushes, and crossing your fingers. On the other side, you have structured HR systems. This is where Teacher Pool steps in, completely replacing that chaos with a professional, scalable system that actually supports long-term growth. Moving on to Section 2, strategic recruitment and setup, building the ecosystem. This is where we move way beyond just skimming resumes. It's about actually building an academic ecosystem. Teacher Pool's talent network is remarkably comprehensive. We're talking teaching roles across all levels, from pre-primary all the way up. They find curriculum-specific educators, so whether you're running IB, CBSE, ICSE, or state boards, they've got you covered. Plus, they handle leadership roles like principals and even the crucial non-teaching staff in admin, finance, and IT. They aren't just checking off qualifications. They're diving deep into pedagogy, communication style, and adaptability to make sure every single person aligns with the school's specific goals. But getting the right people in the door is only half the battle, right? You need a framework. So here are the foundational steps for transitioning to formal HR. First, you have to design a clear organizational structure. Second, create policies and standard operating procedures that are actually tailored for a school environment. Third, develop comprehensive employee handbooks. And fourth, make sure you align all these HR processes with the academic calendar. Nailing these steps absolutely eliminates that fly-by-the-seat-of-your-pants management style. Let's transition to Section 3, compliance and payroll accuracy, ensuring accuracy and accountability. Okay, we're zooming into the micro details now. These are the critical back-end functions that carry some serious legal risk if you get them wrong. For payroll processing, Teacher Pool ensures totally accurate salary structuring. For statutory registrations, they handle all the complex PF, ESI, and professional tax requirements. And for audit readiness, they take care of the monthly filings and documentation. Why is this so crucial? Because keeping legal risks at bay and making sure your educators are paid accurately and on time every single time has a massive direct impact on their morale and how they show up in the classroom. Moving right along to Section 4, the educator lifecycle journey, creating a cohesive journey. Let's move to the chronological journey of a teacher's tenure and see how this builds from literally day one. It all starts with seamless onboarding. First up, rock-solid offer letters and contracts. Then, rigorous background checks. Next is a culture induction program so they truly understand the school's vision, followed by structured probation tracking. When a new hire feels aligned, informed, and connected right out of the gate, it drastically improves your long-term retention. And of course, that journey doesn't stop after the first week. Continuous professional development isn't just a nice-to-have perk. It's absolutely non-negotiable. Training in modern pedagogy creates truly impactful educators. Strong classroom management training leads to much higher student engagement. Health and safety protocols ensure a secure environment. And financial literacy boosts overall compliance awareness. It's all about actively evolving your teachers into masterful educators. So, how do you actually measure that growth without it becoming a subjective popularity contest? That's where a structured performance management framework comes in. We're talking KPI-driven structures, highly transparent appraisal cycles, continuous feedback loops, and crucially, linking that performance directly to career growth and compensation. Removing the guesswork from appraisals builds a thriving culture where teachers feel recognized and truly accountable. Naturally, retaining those great teachers takes a positive environment, supported by regular engagement surveys and real conflict resolution. But hey, even when an educator does decide to move on, the process shouldn't end there. Structured exit management is a huge missed opportunity for a lot of schools. By doing proper exit interviews and actually analyzing attrition trends, school leaders get data-driven insights. You find out exactly what's working, what's not, and how to fix it for the future. That brings us to our final segment, Section 5, Why Choose Teacher Pool? The Strategic Advantage. So the crucial point is this: why this specific agency over a generic corporate HR consultant? Well, Teacher Pool brings strictly education-focused expertise. They understand the weird, wonderful nuances of a school that a standard HR firm just wouldn't get. They've got a massive pan-India talent network, provide comprehensive end-to-end support all under one roof, and they offer cost-effective solutions actually tailored for schools. They aren't just an outsourced vendor. They really operate as a strategic extension of your institution. I absolutely love this mic drop quote from the source material. Good HR is not a back-end function, it is a strategic enabler of educational excellence. I think that just perfectly captures the macro impact of everything we've talked about today. When your teachers are supported by strong, reliable systems, they feel valued. And when teachers feel valued, the students are the ones who ultimately reap the rewards. Which leaves us with one final big thought to ponder. Are you ready to transform your school's HR? If your institution is still relying on ad hoc, informal management, it's probably time to future-proof your ecosystem. You can dive deeper and take that first step by visiting Teacher Pool's website. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and as always, keep learning.